take their what you call it? I take their chicken eggs and take it to the store, and with that, I sell it to the guy, and then he said he give me bread, whatever.
When you were a kid in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, when I was a little kid, yeah.
Smart. You were an entrepreneur.
And that was it. So but I had that when I was possessed by the demon, I was a young guy.
Yeah, this thing's so loud.
Yeah. And that's what
You
it
were
was.
with Uncle Weefel.
Huh?
You were with Weefel.
Yeah. And everybody thought that we were making a story with you. And the thing is, it was very strange, because I was walking in the way up. It's like going to the mountain over there. You take the road that way, you go there. But I said to my mother, 8:30 in the morning. I said, well, no, I'm going to walk right to closer. He said, I'm going to be right. And Wilford said, well, I'm going with Hector.
Yeah.
And she was really bad with us. I said, we took off anyway. So we went up there, and we got in between the mountains. It was like a bird singing, with but the echo of this bird filled up the whole mountain. It was, and right there I knew there was something strange.
Yeah.
And all I have seen was that they had those Catholic rosary in the house and this and that. They went like this. I didn't know how to make that. I just went in just in case.
Yeah. Hit them with the Catholic cross.
I didn't know how to make it. So when we were going almost to the top to make the turn and go a little bit more, this thing spoke with the bird voice. It wasn't a human voice. I will get you now. That's what he said. And we started running. And the thing was coming on the ground, and it took me for a threw him in the bushes. And we didn't have no shoes. We were barefooted, and he entered my feet from the ground, and it went up inside my body, all the way to the head, like a big head like that. Never had that big of a pain in my life. It jumped me right over 4 barbed wire. Can you imagine that?
That's crazy.
And there was a guy on the other side. He was plowing the ground, and he got me, hold of me, and then he had to take me home because I was afraid.
Yeah.
I think that the guy got me. I don't think he got out. So I used to get up at night at 1 or 2 in the morning and walk in the farm in Cacao. That's dark over there, and I wasn't afraid of nothing. After that, I didn't dare go in the backyard at noontime. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's when we started, and then we moved to town, to the Cuamo.
So this was before Cuamo?
Yeah. No, that was in Cuamo. Yeah, before we live in the country.
Okay.
And then my father bought a house for about $1,500. At that time, that thing was cheap.
So when you guys lived in the country, how was that?
Huh?
How was that in the country? That wasn't a house?
Yeah, there was a house.
Okay. But then you got a bigger house?
Our house was made out of, they cut the palm trees and that was the floor.
Okay.
And it was...
This is the house that you and Louie and Hilda grew up in? And
we were born in there, yeah.
So it had palm trees for the floor?
Yeah. He had, they used to cut the trees. The guy that built the house, he came like, he was with a big, they make a real thing so high, with a long saw, a guy in the bottom, and they were cutting trees and making wood for about 3 months before they start building the house. And they leave us the product of the land, That's how it was.
Of course, it makes sense because they didn't have the roads and the concrete trucks. They had to actually take the material off the land to make the place.
And we used to get we used to go in the wood and cut. Even if you were 6, 7 years old, you had to go in the wood, cut wood, because they had you cook in they had like a platform with dirt in it, and they have 3 stones, and you put the cooking pot right on top of the stone, and you put the wood
under the stone, so the,
yeah,
the fire heats the stone.
That's how you.
And then you cook on the stone.
Yeah, you cook on. Yeah.
That's.
That was hard, and then you had to go to the creek and get the water. Filled up a barrel with water every day, and you go take a bath in the creek. We had like like the pine tree had like those things that when they fall off, you make it like a thing so it comes. You put it there and the water comes on top of you. Yeah. So that was.
I see what you're saying. You're using the leaves to redirect the water like a shower.
Yeah.
Wow, that is, and I never knew that.
But back then there was a lot of water. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of growth on the land. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got avocados, oranges, plantains, anything. Mangoes.
Yeah.
We ate up off of the trees. And if you didn't have any, you take their neighbors when they ain't looking.
They had enough, right? The tree had enough in there.
Yeah.
So what
You
happened?
live in the country, yeah. But that's what happened, and then just before we went to Chicago, that happened to me. We lived like a year in town, no, at the outskirts of town, in Cuamo.
So in the country.
No country. We used to walk to the. When we moved that year, we had like a little cart that made out of wood with a wheel, and I go get the gas to cook.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how you did it.
Like a portable kitchen.
No, you had a container. You put gas that you can bring it home, and so you can cook with gas.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So
But
when did
that
you?
was? But I had to walk about 4 blocks to with rolling that thing,
Yeah.
and uphill. It
That's
was
heavy.
you
How old were
have
you, like
pavement, you
7?
have pavement on it, but you had to go. But you would take a break here and there,
Yeah.
And when we first moved in the neighborhood, I had a fight right in the very first day.
In Cuamo?
Yeah.
You had a fight?
Yeah, I used to fight.
Because of all your brothers?
No, it was me. Some guy we were playing ball, and some guy got smart and this and that. We fight over there, and then somebody went over and told my mother that I was fighting with the worst kid in the neighborhood.
Oh wow!
Oh, really?
Why were you fighting? I mean, it makes sense. He probably got on your nerves.
Yeah, yeah. And then the kid, he didn't bother me no more. Yeah.
Yeah, went straight to the top and handled it, huh?
Yeah, so that kid, you cannot mess with that kid. And then my mother, we used to walk to church, because the church was like about 20 minutes walk from the house to the plaza of the town. And my mother used to go to the Catholic church, and she takes me to accompany her. But we would sit in the middle of there, and when we were sitting over there at the Catholic church, you could drop a pin, and you could hear it, because it was quiet. And when everybody was quiet, I would go.
I'm sure you want to grab you by the ear.
And the nun would come. The nun would come to see who had done that. And somebody would point me, and they throw me out of the church.
Are you serious? Thrown out of the Catholic church.
Yeah, and then one time my mother went real early because she was making first communion. And I didn't know, I was sitting over there, and I see everybody going from every branch over there. And they kneel, and the priest come with this thing, it's a big thing, and they put it in your tongue. And I'm looking at this big thing, I said, boy, that thing is going to choke me. They ain't going to go down my throat. So he tells me to stick my tongue out so he can put it. I said, no. And the nun came and threw me out again. I used to go around, I used to go out with him.
Yeah.
We went to visiting churches, and we went to a Pentecostal church. It was a big church. I don't even remember where it was at, because I was a small guy, and I was over there, and the pastor, introduced us, and because we were visiting, and this friend of mine that I had to fight with somewhere.
Yeah.
He's in California, and he told the pastor, after a while, my friend here is going to sing a special. I didn't know how to sing. When they close their eyes to pray, I got out. And then I continued visiting churches, and I even went to the Church of Buddha.
Oh yeah, you checked out Buddha?
Yeah.
How was that experience?
I didn't like no churches, I kept
Yeah.
going to all because I was telling him the experience that I was possessed by a demon.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was a little kid, because I guess I was pretty bad, doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I used to set fires on the woods and stuff like that. I thought it was fun. I didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't go no more, and because I was very trouble speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I was like I used to
Stutter.
stutter like a car, a tumor for car. when I met it, I used to tell her, yo quiero.
Yeah. That's so hard to believe
still got
because
the
you
Yeah,
girl.
but you know
so
what?
well.
But you know what? When I saw her, I had a nice build. I was I had already gone to the service when I went to saw her. When I went to sign in for the military, because when you was 18, you had to sign in, and I was 84 pounds and 59 inches tall. And when I went in the office,
84?
84 pounds, and
Gosh.
it was a black sergeant. He said, "What do you want, kid?" When he saw me come in, so I came to sign in. I'm 18 today. Oh my God! He said, "You better go home and eat some serious food. And when you gain some weight and grow a little bit, you come again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I left, and I left and I started weightlifting, and in about 6 months, I went to 154 pounds, and I grew 6 inches.
Yeah.
In less
You were
than 1 year.
malnourished.
In less than 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I didn't go back. They called me like 2 years later for the military, and I was going there with a boyfriend, Tito's boyfriend, And so when I go there, the guy, that was another sergeant, that he thought that I was Hispanic. He filled up all the papers for me. In Chicago, downtown
Yeah.
Chicago. So I took 4 tests. I had 3 100 and 192. And when I was getting out, I saw that, "You speak English?" "Yes, sir." Hey, baby, he cursed me out with so bad words. He said, "We're going to be kicking your butt. Your head's when you come back in about 3 weeks," and then blah, blah, blah. I said, "But you never asked me."
Right?
Yeah, you filled out the
You filled it
paperwork
out
thinking
yourself.
I didn't speak
Yeah.
English.
You and your assumptions.
So I went home. And then about 2 weeks, I get another letter since I got those marks. I could choose any of the military, so I chose the Air Force. So I sent in the letter, and then they sent me another one. They were going to send me to a helicopter pilot school. That was in 1961. When the war in Vietnam was, I would have been in the rice field.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look how things work.
Oh, goodness.
I was going for about 3.5 years, and the Aclisa, that I was raising. Maritza's mother, I had came to Puerto Rico to meet the family, and she, when I went back, she said, well, I think you're going to get married now, right? So I told her, married now? I don't even have a penny on my name in the bank, and I'm having a hard time supporting myself,
Yeah.
I can't marry now. So he told Tita that I was a charlatan.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
then like when I got that letter to go to school, I said, well, I better marry Tita, and she can stay with my parents while I make arrangement over there. And we went for honeymoon. We went to the Niagara Falls.
Oh, that's nice.
And the pastor lent me an old Volkswagen because I didn't have no car. And when I used to go to, I'm supposed to go north, I'd be going south. Because
Oh my
Pulling
God.
up to Gulf Shores.
and then when I got to Canada, I went on the Queen Elizabeth going the wrong way.
Oh, how
The traffic and the policeman come, and Tita she was very, very nervous. And now what's going to happen with me when they arrest you?
She's stuck in Canada.
Yeah, and
fugitive.
The policeman, the policeman, he didn't ask me for the license. He said, don't worry about a thing. I know you're a tourist, and I'll get you out and you have a good time. So he got me out because, I stopped the whole traffic. The expressway.
You went the wrong way
I
on the
was
expressway.
lucky I didn't get run over.
Yeah.
And so the next day we went to have breakfast, and Tita see on the newspaper that married people don't go into the service.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. I didn't have to go.
Oh, that guy definitely filled that out for nothing now.
See that? See how
Yeah.
the Lord works? And then after that, I had quit the job, so I went back to work, and I worked for eight different companies, and I was one of the top guys, the top mechanic of the big machinery.
Yeah.
And the guy, the guy used to say, I never looked for a job.
There was always someone
You know,
trying to
the first job that I went to, I wasn't looking for a job. I was taking a couple of Puerto Ricans because they asked me if I'd take it to a company to apply for a job. And we went to a printing company, Skokie. And when I got there, I told the manager, said that we're looking for a job. And he said, are you going to fill one out too? I said, no, I am not looking for a job. And he kept insisting that I fill one out. And then to shut him up, I filled one out. The next day they called me to present myself for work, and they didn't call the other two guys. And then they told the guy on the phone, what you mean? I'm not looking for a job. And he pleaded me to go to work for at least a couple of months to help him out.
Yeah.
So I said, well, a couple of months, yeah, okay. So I went over there, and I stayed for 13 years. Learned the trade.
That was Centennial?
No, that was a different company.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I went over there, there was a Polish guy. And every time we come, right, you have to punch a card. Like now, that is modern. You punch a card, and the plant manager be by the time clock watching everybody. He was a Polish guy, old guy. He chew tobacco and spit it without it. And I saw, the first time I saw him, I said, good morning, Mr. Kerensky. And he didn't answer me. So the next day, I came and I see him, I don't say anything to him. And he said, Mr. Sayas, don't you know how to say good morning to people? I said, well, yesterday I said good morning to you, and you didn't answer me, so I figure you didn't want people to say good morning to you. So that guy made my morning miserable. Working here and pushing me here and pushing me down. So when he was in the office, like about 10 o'clock, I went over there and I told him, hey, Mr. Kerensky, can I talk to you a minute? He said, sure, come on in. And I said, what do you need? I said, I don't need anything. I just came to tell you that I'm leaving. I'm not coming back anymore because you've been treating me like your book, and he had to get everything ready. So I went and I told him, I said, his name was Sid. I said, Mr. Sid, I work for you.
You're not so, it's okay.
And I tell you, you're supposed to have everything ready, for the yearbook, because otherwise you don't have it, it's going to be trouble. He said, you don't know how to run that? Oh yeah, I know how to operate the whole company.
Yeah.
So he put me, you want to take care of it? Oh yeah, I take care of it. So he said, come on, you work with me in the office. So I work in the office. Everybody didn't know how I got that,
Oh, because you said good morning to Mr. Kerensky?
Yeah, because they have fired the other guy had left, and they were saying, now what's going to happen to you? Now you got to work.
Oh, Mr. Kerensky left?
Yeah, the other guy left, and then this one, and I was working with this guy, and this guy told me one time, hey, you know what I'm going to do for you, because you've done very good for me? I'm going to put you in the union, and you gotta go downtown and take a test. It don't matter whether you fail or not, because I got connection with them guys over there.
Yeah.
He told me in the office, and you can go over there, but I got another surprise for you. You'll be an apprentice, but I'm gonna be giving you journeyman's wages. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And I didn't know much of anything. And they said, I said, you're not gonna work in any specific machine. They said, you're going to be working for this office, and you work in all the machines, so you can learn all the machines, and nobody can say anything because you're in the union.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nobody likes me because I didn't know nothing. I was getting journeyman's wage.
Yeah.
But I got really good at it. And one time I came, and the plant manager said, today you got to send, I was running the second shift. He said, today you gotta send all the people home because this machine is broken and it's not gonna be running. So I said, can I go try to fix it? And he said, what do you mean you wanna go try to fix it? I said, the head machinist and the head electrician were all day working on it and they couldn't get it going. How do you expect to get it going? I said, can you give me at least 15 minutes to go try it? I said, he said, okay, you go over there. You're wasting your time. So I go over there, and that was when the electric eyes came in the beginning. And they had, and all you had to do was the eye was dirty, you wipe it all out, and start the machine, it went boom, 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 working good. And I went over there and told him, I fix it. I got to fix it. I said, what do you mean you fix it? You even take 5 minutes, you fix it. Oh yeah, I'm good at it. So he goes to the machine and he started the machine. I can't believe this. So you come here, you fix it in 5 minutes, and the head electrician and the head mechanic, they couldn't fix it. Man, I put those guys so low that those guys they had nothing to do with me no more.
Yeah.
Every time they were fixing something and I came around, they used to tell me, I'm not going to be touching any machine until you live here. Because you don't say anything, but you're soaking everything that you see. Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
And that's how I was 13 years with that company. And then they used to call me from everywhere. I even went for an interview in what's that? Oregon. Medford, Oregon. Norfolk of California.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, the word got around that I do all this stuff. I didn't know how they got the name way out there by then. And the guy, it was Saturday morning, and I was having breakfast, 9 o'clock, and the telephone rang, and it was the owner of the company in Oregon. And he telling me that he wanted to have an interview with me and this and that. He was from Oregon and blah, 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 blah. And I said, man, somebody's pulling my leg, because how did they would know about me?
Yeah.
So I said, well, I guess, I said, okay, send me the ticket. So I hang up. And I said, who was that? I said, some clown, trying to mess with my mind.
Yeah.
And I was working, and I come about Wednesday, I had 2 airplane tickets.
Yeah.
One guy asked me the tickets to go to Oregon. So I had to go over there.
I love this color.
I go over there, and the owner, he picked me up at the airport, you know.
Me too.
And he took me out to lunch. And he took me out to lunch in the restaurant we were going over there. It's beautiful over there, you know. Metro Oregon, you got rivers, and they have the guys that cut the woods and, you know, make the beautiful, you know. They got clear running water over there. He said, my God, I could have bought a house over there for $75,000, very luxury house. You know?
Yeah, Oregon is beautiful.
Yeah, and he said, so it was in the restaurant, and when we were having lunch, the owner told the owner, did you tell him about the lake? I said, what lake? I said, there is a lake on top of the mountain that if he ever comes down, it's going to flood the whole town. And he got mad with the restaurant owner. The guy, then he took me to the hotel, and he gave me a car, and he gave me Sunday off. He said, take this car and you go around and look the place up and this, that. And Monday morning you come and, you know, to the company. So I went Monday morning, and he took me around the big company. They said, yes, and he asked me this, everything that he told me to do, I did. And I said, my God, I said, you're the first guy that I interviewed about 8 guys. I said, you're the first one that know everything. He said, he told me,
Nice.
and he told me, I want you to come and work. So I told him, listen, he was going to the airport. I would love to come, but my mother is very critical ill, you know, in the last stage of his life. And I can just leave my mother and come.
Yeah.
So then he said, yeah, I understand that. So I said, I'll call you again. So when he called me like about my mother had died, and I had started the company.
Yeah.
And that was it.
How did you get to starting that company?
Because a guy that Joe Quisana knew the guy, and he was working over there, and I told Joe, why don't we just start the company? You know, this guy the guy that they had a mailing house, I said, he can finance it for us while, you know, and he financed it, and then I was the one who did everything.
I remember.
So then I worked with them for not too many years, and I quit. I left them, you know. I took it because I wasn't getting what I was supposed to get. So I left, and then after I left, Joe came to the company. They called me from another company, you know, because somebody had recommended me, and I went over there. I was planning already to come to Puerto Rico. I had to suspend my trip, you know, to live over here, and I went over there. I had an interview with the guy, and the guy was a very nice guy. He said, can you help me for a couple of weeks? And I went over there for a couple of weeks, and I stayed about 12 years. You know?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And it was a Polish guy, and the owner was a Polish guy, and this guy, every time he came, I was in charge of all the machinery and everything running nice and smooth. And the owner would come, and the supervisor, they see the owner coming, and they start pretending that we're busy working, and I'll be sitting on the chair. And the owner would come and sit down next to me and say, how you doing? I said, pretty good. I said, when you see me sitting down over here, man, you're making a ton of money. Listen to the machine humming.
Yeah.
He was his brain.
That guy liked me so much, you know, he was really nice to me. And then a company, it went a bad year, had a bad year, and a guy came from Massachusetts, you know, one of those guys that took counseling and check everything. And for some reason, he picked me to work with him because I knew everything. And so at the end of the year, everything was already in order. And he told me, I got news for you. I said, what news you got for me? I said, I have talked to the owner that he's going to put you to be the manager of the company. I said, I can't be no manager. I'm going to be leaving in about 2 weeks to start a company. If he needs 3 weeks until he gets somebody. So I went and I told him, and so when I went over there, the last day I went to work, and I went to say goodbye to the owner, you know?
Yeah.
So when the owner saw me walking to the office, he got up and he hugged me and he gave me a kiss over here, you know. And said, man, so sorry that you're going away and starting a company. And he asked me, do you have any customers yet? I said, yeah, I got one. And he said, can I know who that one is? I said, yeah, that's you. And he was laughing. And he said, you know what? If I send all this work to all those people that I don't know, I know what you do, I send it to you now. So when we started the company, it was like if we were in business, you know. That was the second time, you know, that we started Horizon over there. And the guy gave me the work, you know.
That's wonderful. So he was your first and best customer.
Yeah. So we had a guy that before we were really running, but the electrician hooked up everything, but he didn't get the permits. And he went to the city hall of Cicero, you know, to get the permits. And the old lady over there told him, you know, he told him that we were in business already and he got no permits and this and that. And she called Joe. I was sitting over there because I used to do the accounting and pay the bills and everything else, hire the people, and the lady called from Cicero. You better get your butt over here right away. I'm gonna shut you down before you even open a business. So he gave me the phone. They said, wait a minute, you can talk to the guy that take care of that. And him and they were shaking him, you know. So I'm talking to this lady from the side. You better get over here, you're running. I said, no, we're not running. Man, I said, what do you mean not running? What's all that machine noise that I hear? Well, we gotta be testing the machine, you know, make the oil and everything else, make sure everything's ready to go so we get the things. Say, you better get over here and get. So when I got over there, he started hollering, you know. So I told her, you know, it's beneficial for the town of Cicero for us to open the business because you're going to make a ton of money, you know, coming into your, you know.
Yeah.
So then she took me into the office and we were talking there and Joe and they were shaking in the company. And I stayed for about an hour and a half talking with this lady. And she gave me all the
information,
all everything that we needed, you know.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, she took care of you.
Yeah, he took care of me and this and that. And so I said, man, you're very surprised. You know what to answer people. You really shut me down. So I'm not trying to be rude, but you know that's the way I am. So she gave me all the permits that I needed, you know, to open the business.
So good.
So when I went over there, Joe and they're running over there shaking. What happened? What happened? I said, everything is taken care of. I got all the permits right here. Yeah. And then when I one time Joe they made a big mistake. They made a big mistake at a cost of $45,000. And the company that we did the job didn't want to pay that, said that we did it. And the people from Montgomery Ward, the big guys, you know, they have Montgomery Ward, a big company then over there. And then they came over the company and from the printing company and us, Joe and I, and we're talking there, but I'm the one talking, you know, in a nice way, you know, defending this and that, but in a nice way. And in about an hour, the guy said, I want everybody here to leave. Just Hector. I want him to stay. I want to ask him something. So they left. And Ted and Joe was out in the company shaking.
Yeah.
We would have been close. We would have lost the houses because we had the houses at collateral collateral.
And Montgomery Ward's was your
Yeah.
biggest
So-
customer.
So the other guy said, he asked me, what you do in your free time? I tell the guy, well, I'm a pastor in the Baptist church. I teach the gospel, I preach, I baptize, I visit the sick in the hospital, I bury the dead. He said, somehow this came over me when you were talking, that you did something like that. And I want you to do me a favor. I said, yeah, what? I said, I got a son that is dying, very sick. I want you to kneel with me on the floor and pray for my son. You know? I'm in the office over there praying for this guy. So I don't know who this guy is. And I pray for this guy here. I never saw him again or heard from him anymore. But when we got up, the guy hugged me and said, don't worry about anything. You don't have to pay anything. You know? So I got out. And then on Joe, they come running. What happened? What happened? What happened? I said, what was you doing with it? I said, well, this guy got me on the knee with him to pray for his son. And they said, hey, cut out the bull. I said, well, I'm telling you, but I'm going to give you some good news. What's that good news? So when we stood up from the prayer, he told me, don't worry about anything. You don't have to pay anything.
That's amazing.
So that's how that happened. So then we used to do a lot of work, you know, like we were here in the beginning, like if we were here working in the company, and nobody believed it. But you know, you make $1 million a year, and then you got a couple of months that was old, and if you lose the workers, you got to continue paying them and this and that, and the $1 million will be gone. And I said, man, we're working an hour for what? So I told the guy, I want to sell you guys the company cheap, because I could see
you could see the slim profit
computer,
margins.
the computer were coming and all of this, and I said, this is going to be a obsolete business in about 3-4 years. I told the guy, they had to give me at least $400,000, but to make them get it, because I told them they didn't have the money. They said, well, give me 110. And that's it. I gave them my share for 110.
That's insane.
Yeah, but look what happened. And when, you know, Lillian's husband is an attorney, and his buddy, they wanted to close the business. So we went downtown, and he closed the business. He said, you're selling it cheap. I don't tell him. I got my reasons why. So he closed it. He said, I want to talk to you in the office. So let them go. So, because I don't want you to talk to them anymore. He told me, don't even call. And I said, okay. So he came in for about half hour, then I left. And I never told the guy anymore. And if you go by the company that used to give us the business, they have torn it down. I don't know what happened to them guys.
Yeah. There's no more Horizon Bindery. I used to look for
And not
it.
only that, after they paid me the money, they took a loan of $500,000 for my new machinery. And
Wow.
so I don't know what happened to them. You know?
Yeah.
So I never talked to them and saw them again, and you know. But that's why I say, what looks to be, you get too tight into the material things in life. You know, you let the Lord guide you guys, and He'll give you. Like I say, I worked 43 years, never looked for a job. I never, even when I came here, the Pastor Jaime, he was the helper of Catalino. He called me one time. He said, I always ask myself, how come you don't worry about anything, you give everything away, and you got more and more? And I said, what does the scripture say, what the Jesus said? You know, when you give, you receive back many folds. You know?
That's true.
And he said, today I realized that. He said, and he called me,
I miss Pastor.
yeah, but that's the way it was, you know?
Yeah.
Because one time Pastor Colon came over here, we were taking a walk on the farm. there was a pumpkin over there, about 40 pounds. He said, oh my God, look up. I said, why did you give it to me? I said, well, I'll give it to you, but I'm carrying it up. He had to rest about 3 times bringing it.
Yeah.
But we were going down there. We had an avocado tree over there that used to have big, giant avocado, like 4 pounds. And there was only 2 left.
Yeah.
One that was about 2 pounds and a big one. So I picked him up and I gave the pastor Colon the little one. And he couldn't take the eyes away from the big ones. You know, he was walking around the barn. So finally, I told him, you know, Pastor, the little avocado that you got there tastes as good as this one. Take this one too. Yeah. So, that's
That's funny how that works.
But that's the way, because the Lord has blessed us. Bless me with my wife, bless me with my son, bless me with you, your
Yeah.
mother.
I think I inherited
my
your
grandkids.
blessing. Our paths seem
That's
to
the
be
way it is.
converging.
Because I don't worry about the stuff. Those are material gains. They stay. And when you live, you don't take none.
Lorelai has been having a great time. I think she's fine. I could hear her.
She's calling.
Oh, yeah, she
Mom.
She was out there. I don't know what she was doing. She was looking. I think she was watching some lizard or something.
They've been trying to catch a lizard all day.
All
day. I told
Wait
them.
until they get a big lizard.
Yeah,
When they
they're
got the big
When
tail,
she sees the one the size, yeah, that's.
they're going to run away.
Yeah.
They think it's going to dinosaur.
They got some big
They come
iguanas.
right around. They come right along the edge.
Yeah.
The big ones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll blow their mind.
They're going to think it's a dinosaur.
Yeah, they love that
I
stuff.
was like messing around. I looked up. There it is, sitting in a tree.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them in so long. The last time I saw a big one was,
So I
I
whacked
guess.
them over the head to see if I could cook them.
Yeah,
One
right?
over here,
Yeah.
one over here.
Or put a leash on them and sell them for $40 on Facebook
I
Marketplace.
have one over
No, I'm
here.
sorry.
I think I was gonna eat 'em.
One came on the backyard over there, a big one. And
Yeah.
I took the water hose and I hosed it down and he ran.
Before Thunder died, nothing could survive around here, really. But I remember sometimes seeing big ones on that over there past the gate. Those are Puerto Rico's treasures. Those are the real Puerto Rican dogs.
Yeah, and the one time I was walking on the farm in the other side of the creek over there,
Yeah.
and I saw this big one, like a 4-footer, big one. And the dog was in the back of there. I said, I better move right away so he don't see it. So he seen it and he started barking at it. So I said, come on, Thunder, come on, let's go. And he wouldn't
Whack
come.
with that tail,
So I figure he'd
Yeah,
be,
right?
I figure he'd be
Stay
coming
here.
soon. So I was by the gate over here, and I hear so.
Yeah, he whacked them with the tail.
Good, yeah. I just took a video of Trevi hanging out with the cat. He's all bark, no time.
He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. Hey, when you were starting up First Baptist, how did you do that?
Where?
When you first started going to First Baptist?
Your mother used to be. She was a believer. When I met her, she was your grandma. She was. I wasn't a Christian then.
No, Grandma brought you to Christ?
No, I read the Bible. I would say I could hardly talk,
Yeah.
Total, but the Bible came into the because people used to make fun of me, and I always be in the room reading, and somehow I got a Bible, and I started reading it and reading it and reading it, and I picture myself. I said, man, I've been a bad kid. So I lay down and accepted Jesus Christ myself in the room.
Yeah.
So then I had to look for a church so I can do, public. You have to make it public.
You need to speak publicly.
Yeah. So I went. There was a church on Sedgwick and Wisconsin. So I went there. And Tita was there. She came with Cynthia, and I was looking at her when I said Cynthia was like their kid. I said, well, kind of bad that she already got his kid, but then I find out she didn't have it wasn't her. I said, oh, that's good.
Oh.
So I stayed at the church, and then we got married there, and then we went to the honeymoon. That's what I told you that happened. in Canada.
Niagara Falls. Yep.
So after that we stay in that church, and the population, they moved from there, so there wasn't much of Spanish, so they closed it. I even taught a pastor that was there in American service how to speak Spanish.
You did?
Yeah, and he had a dictionary and this and that, and I said, forget the dictionary. You use a dictionary when you learn how to talk, and then you can look it up. And I teach him in less than a year.
Just talking Spanish with them?
Yeah.
And when he had questions, translating?
Yeah.
That's tenacity.
Yeah. So he learned very quick. I don't know what happened to him. He said, "Man, I've been blessed by you. So you're really good."
Yeah.
And then they closed the church, the Spanish, so we had to look for a church. So we went to.
Here you go. Go eat some food,
the-
Maritza. It's
to
sitting right
North
there. It's
Shore.
ready. Here again.
Huh?
Eat your food,
4
Grandpa.
o'clock.
Oh, so we
Go
went
get some
to North
food,
Shore.
man.
Oh, thanks. I will.
North Shore had the church used to be Sheffield over there. It was in a very good built church. And when I went to the church, and we started looking for a big church,
Yeah.
to buy a church, and then they didn't know. So one day I told the pastor, they wanted to buy a small church and this and that. We saw the one on Montrose over there. So this is the one that we need. And so they put me in charge.
Lorelai, come eat.
They got me in charge, and I got that church.
I'm watching Netflix. Leave me alone.
That's her.
Yeah. So I got that church for about $70,000.
First Baptist? That's her. Wow.
It is
And they could have sold it for $3.25 million. Pastor,
Ramon.
yeah, he blew it.
That guy was the worst.
Yeah. But then,
Un solo programa.
when I went over there,
That's why I thought this was
I went to the church and we moved over there.
There's another one.
I went to the first
That's perfect.
meeting.
Yeah, pero entonces cogemos, son 150.
Well, I didn't know anything about the Bible.
Yeah. Zulia, will you make me a plate?
And I'm over there on the first visit that they get in the different committees.
Yeah.
So when they got to be getting the teacher for the young people, they couldn't find no one.
It's right there on the table.
And somehow something getting me. And I raised the hand.
Come on,
I was
Lorelai.
Pastor Ignacio.
Yeah.
They say, Hermano Saya, you have a question? I said, yeah, Pastor, I want to be the teacher of the young people.
Lorelai, put that down. Come here, Lorelai.
They said, I want to be the pastor of young people. I said, how could you be a pastor? How can you be a teacher of the young people when you don't even know a word about the Bible? Yeah?
Yeah.
And everybody, excuse me, everybody was laughing like a big joke. Even the pastor was laughing.
Yeah.
So when they got done laughing, pastor noticed that I was standing up. The pastor said, Mr. Hector, you got another question? I said, Pastor, with your respect, the respect of the congregation here, this feeling was put in me by the Holy Spirit. I
Yeah.
don't know the Bible, but if I am the teacher, I'll be obligated to study the Bible, to get information so I can give a very good class. I ended up being the teacher.
You ended up being the teacher?
That was about seven young guys in the class with the girls. About 3 months I have about 70.
Yeah. Wow. We're gonna have to continue that. I want to learn how we started First Baptist, but I'm gonna go.
So you gotta be